Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm watching more Parz. I watched like 1 or 2 shorts by this guy. He covers different animals in Australia. And yeah, they're very entertaining, so I'm just gonna watch a couple of them, see how long it takes. Maybe I'll make a couple of videos, because this guy has a lot of shorts now. But yeah, let's start with the first one.
Australia has a lot of spiders, but recently we found a new one.
Plenty.
Because of course we fucking did. And the new one is the most certified Australia moment I've ever seen. For a bit of context,
Venomous?
one of the several thousand spider species we are home to is
10,000.
the Sydney funnel web, the deadliest spider on the planet. Because of course it's down here. Where the fuck else did you think you were going to find it? These scary...
Sydney funnel web is the deadliest one? I thought it was the Brazilian wandering spider. Or brown recluse, or whatever the hell it's called. I don't know.
looking fuckers are highly venomous and can flatline you with a bite in 15 minutes. And if you think wearing thick clothes will save you, be aware the bastards have fangs long enough to punch through shoe leather. Now, while I bring these little nightmares up, what is the one thing worse than a spider rocking armor-piercing
I don't think even my tarantulas would be able to pierce through shoe leather.
rounds that can send you to heaven with same-day delivery? A bigger spider rocking the same perk setup. That's right, Australian scientists have found a brand new species of this funnel web that is even bigger. How much bigger?
Of course.
Well, the standard Sydney funnel web grows to around 5 centimetres or 2 inches.
Hey, that's pretty big.
Me, 2 inches is more than enough. 2 inches is actually fucking huge. By comparison,
Nothing
this
wrong
is the
with
new
that.
one. It's twice the fucking size, cunt. 4 inches of 8-legged menace to the animal kingdom. But that isn't even the best part. You see, do you know what they named this thing? Do you know what...
When he says 4 inches, does he mean about just the body? Or from the end of one of the front legs to the end of one of the back legs? Because you can measure spiders in 2 different ways. You can go from the leg to measure how big they get when they're like this. Or you can measure just the body. If the 4 inches is just the body, that's massive. If it's from leg to leg, then it's not that big.
Named this thing? Do you know what professional scientists named a supersized version of the most dangerous spider on the entire fucking planet?
No.
The Newcastle Big Boy. Deadliest spider on the entire
Oh shit, it's
globe.
a big boy.
Big Boy. Only in Australia.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't live in Australia, because that place... I'm not even, like, scared of the animals. The animals are not even the biggest issue for me. For me, it's the weather. I'm about as white as a human can get. I wouldn't survive in more than 30 degrees Celsius, and Australia has, like, what, 40 plus? I'd be cooked alive. Anyway, this next one is about platypus.
Platypus are weird, but I'm not sure you quite understand just how fucking weird. So everyone knows the basics. They lay eggs, they sweat milk, and they look like God hit randomizer on the spore creature creator and just called it a day. But you see, mate, that's barely even scratching the surface of weird platypus features.
How much worse does it get?
Qualifier for any Australian animal. Did you know they're venomous? No,
yes.
I'm not fucking with you. You heard me correctly.
I actually did know that.
They actually have venomous spurs on their hind legs. These spurs are multi-purpose, acting as defense from predators, as well as a tool for throwing hands with other male platypus during mating season. And while their venom is non-lethal, that doesn't mean that getting stung by them doesn't
I'm quite sure it's
suck.
extremely painful for humans.
Venom can cause extreme pain and swelling, and to ensure you remember not to fuck with them again, these effects can last for several months and have no treatment or anti-venom. So if Perry stabs your shit, your only option is to cry about it. Next on the list of offensive capabilities, I shit you not, platypus share the same hunting method as sharks. You see, that big-ass bill isn't just for show, as it contains enough surveillance equipment to make the CIA blush. Possessing the ability to sense changes in pressure in the water, but most importantly, containing electroreceptors that track electrical signals from muscle contractions made by their prey. Meaning that when whatever they're chasing starts quaking in fear, they know about it. And last but not least, as if those things weren't already unbelievable, we recently discovered something new. Platypus are fucking biofluorescent. They glow. If you hit these things with a black light, they go bright fucking green.
Is that why Perry was green?
We have no clue why they do it. I guess it just means Perry was a biblically accurate. Yeah. Who fucking designed this thing? Platypus are weird.
Well, God, evolution, depends what you believe in. I'd say it's a mixture of both. So Perry being green is actually, it's canon, it's accurate. Okay, this next one is about an animal. It's about a seal called Neil. I've heard of this one. Apparently, it's like a seal in Australia that's known for being just a bit of an asshole.
This seal is such a menace that he routinely gets the cops called on him.
Oh my god.
Introducing our protagonist, Neil the Seal. A sickness that he routinely gets the cops called on him.
They're actually using the alarm.
Seal, a 600 kilo absolute unit of a southern elephant seal from my home state of Tasmania in the land down under, who is known for, above all else, being an absolute fucking menace to polite society. But despite his
What
crimes,
did he do?
we all still truly love him.
Oh.
But what are his crimes? Well, see, he seems to just fucking hate traffic cones and road safety in general. Has regularly been caught trespassing, and then once he has been caught trespassing, belligerently screaming at locals because they won't give him his fucking fish, and has been known to just block roads by plopping his fat ass down directly
he just
in the
blocks traffic?
However, hands down, the funniest shit he has ever done was just straight stopping this random lady from going to work. I shit you not. This motherfucker crawled out of the ocean, up the beach, crossed the road, absolutely fucking bodied this woman's poor letterbox, and then proceeded to plant himself directly in front of her fucking car. She was then unable to go to work because this half-ton beefcake was camping her driveway for so damn long. Local news had time to drive out to her house and cover the fucking story. Now, this is a lot of menace for a single seal to cause.
I'm sure her boss understood.
Old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old.
Oh!
If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons of blubber and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered.
What?
Old mate isn't even fully grown. He's like 5 years old. If you think he can fuck things up now, wait until he's nearly 2 solid-ass tons.
Wait, 2 tons, but max weight, it says 4,000 kilos. That's 4 tons. Did they actually grow to 4 tons? Like at most?
Of blubber and takes issue with the wall of your house. I do not think that seal damage is covered on my fucking insurance plan, dude. This seal...
I mean, that's literally like a car crashing into your house. Because a standard passenger car weighs, I think, around 2 tons. Maybe slightly less. So, Neil can weigh as much as a car. Even more, actually. That's fucking crazy. That would be pretty cool, though. Just, you walk outside one day and you see Neil just blocking someone from going to work or sitting on the side of the road, yelling at somebody. That would be fucking awesome. Anyway, on to the next one. This one's about wombats.
Wombats defend themselves by throwing it back. But to understand how the fuck they actually do it, you're going to need to learn a little bit about them first. You see, Australia is home to 3 species of these bad boys, all of them equally adorable, and very importantly, all being burrowers, meaning they dig out a nice little hole for themselves and the family to live in, because, like the rest of us, they can't afford a fucking house in this economy, man. They go to around 1.3 meters in length, but despite being small, they are built like fucking tanks. Weighing in at a chunky-ass 35 kilos, but despite their weight, I shit you not, they have a top speed of 40k an hour.
Wow.
Now, the fact that they can nearly get booked in a school zone, coupled with them being a tank-class marsupial, forms the start of their defense strategy. So you see, a fun fact about wombat anatomy is they spect all their defense points into their ass. Rather than having fat and muscle, a wombat's cheeks are made out of 4 thick plates of fused cartilage, making it extremely solid. And this Kevlar BBL allows for the fucking funniest defense mechanism I have ever seen.
He just shakes his ass?
Basically, if a predator tracks down Mr. Wombat to his burrow, it'll stick its head in and start trying to dig him out. In response, the wombat will line his ass up with the tunnel door, chuck the gear shifter into reverse, and fucking floor it backwards up the tunnel into his aggressor, slamming his ass into its head. The impact then squashes the predator between his steel cheeks and the roof of the burrow, straight up crushing its skull like a Mortal Kombat fatality. I cannot make this shit up.
Jesus Christ. I thought it would, like, maybe give the animal its striking a concussion or something. I didn't think it would straight up crush its skull. Holy crap. Imagine dying by getting smothered with someone's ass. Honestly, a lot of people probably want to go out that way. Okay, yeah, so wombats can definitely mess you up. On to the next one. It's just, do not step on this rock.
Could straight up paralyze you.
Oh,
That's
it's
because
the
this isn't actually a rock.
rockfish?
That is a stonefish, a
Stonefish.
species of underwater menace native to Australia. And coming as a surprise to absolutely
Venomous.
no one, it is also the most venomous fish in the ocean. Because
Oh,
of
the
course it
most
is.
venomous.
As if the fucking snakes and spiders weren't enough, now I can get packed up by a pet rock. But why is this Pokemon reject such a threat?
Could you keep
to my
this as a
mental
pet?
health? Well, you see, stonefish use their special venom for defense. However, unlike most other animals that do this little f***er doesn't have the decency to dress like a neon sign to warn you.
Yeah.
No,
He does the
no.
opposite.
This bastard is a 6th prestige prop hunt veteran, having evolved some of the most impressive camouflage in the animal kingdom to make hunting easier. And once they've set themselves up, they are basically indistinguishable from Patrick Starr's house. Now, this is a fairly major problem as they love to live in the shallows on the beach, and that venom we talked about
So just
earlier
don't go on
is
the
stored
beach.
in these 13 giant, highly toxic spines that deliver venom when pressed on. You can probably see where I'm going with this. Considering it's hard enough to spot these things while
How
you're
quickly
paying
does it
attention,
kill you?
If you were, say, on a romantic walk along the beach with one of the homies, and while distracted by his ethereal beauty, weren't paying too much attention to where you were walking, it would be very easy to place your foot in the wrong spot and step directly onto 13 hypodermic needles, which would then deliver a ginormous dose of
Why is it blue?
neurotoxin straight into your system. Oh, you thought it was normal venom? No. You see, these things maxed out the toxin skill tree, producing a mixture of 2 neurotoxins.
Same like
that flatline
everything
you by
else in
collapsing your
Australia,
heart and lungs
apparently.
in under an hour. And even if you survive, the sting still causes extreme pain, swelling, and tissue necrosis. Because this is Australia, where even the scenery is trying to one-shot me. Stepping on...
Yeah, if you don't know what necrosis looks like, look it up at your own risk. It does not look pretty. Basically, your tissue, it's rotting, but you're still alive. I'm pretty sure the brown recluse actually does cause necrosis. Again, you can look it up on your own, but I'd suggest you don't. Okay, next one. The world's most dangerous bird. I don't know what this is.
This bird can straight hit you with a Mortal Kombat fatality.
Uh-huh.
Introducing the cassowary, a species of ratite native to the land down under. And for once, guys, it's not venomous. Can still flatline you,
Hallelujah.
though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens will flatline you, though, and I'm going to tell you how. You see, these neon chickens belong to the same family of birds as the emu, and as such share their impressive size, coming in at a solid 79 kilos and growing up to 6 feet tall, meaning the short kings in my audience could, in theory,
It's taller
mount
than me.
these things like a chocobo. But what makes them stick out?
I could
from
ride
emus?
one of them.
Well, you see, the cassowary is basically a spec ops emu, being twice the weight, highly territorial,
Oh,
and most
God.
importantly, coming with a combat knife strapped to their foot. That's right, this is a cassowary claw, and it's the reason they can hit you with a fighting game finisher. You see, these claws are a full 5 inches long. And you know what I mean? Honestly,
That's
5
pretty
inches
big.
is way too big for anything, and especially for something that's going inside me. And if you anger the tactical assault turkey, that is exactly what you're gonna get, as their go-to defense method is to kick you square in the gut with that kitchen knife and attempt to disembowel you. And I mean, even if the kick doesn't put your insides on the outsides, that kick is still going to send you flying, which can cause some fairly major problems. Problems like the incident that occurred in 2012, where I you not, a cassowary ran up behind a random tourist, hit the heavy attack button, and kicked the guy down a small cliff into the ocean. I mean, luckily he survived, but the fact that I live in a country where at any point I could be hit with a sneak attack by a kaiju turkey is terrifying.
I don't know. That sounds pretty cool to me. Oh, this is great. This is Australia. As it kicks him off the cliff. Oh, this one's about the Australians losing a war to emus.
Australia lost a war to emus.
They certainly did.
But how? How the did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in 1932 when farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory, and emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it.
They're taller
when
than
breeding
me.
season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry. 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences, into the fields, and started laying waste to the wheat.
I can just imagine that scene from Starship Troopers where they attack, what was it, Outpost Whiskey, I think? God, but imagine all those, like, the aliens switch them for the fucking emus. I just imagine that scene.
The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Fuck me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
I am speed.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this
That's just gonna make
didn't work.
the accuracy way worse.
Those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket. The emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of... Because emus are mostly feathers, and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage. Meaning it was taking around 10
most of their
bullets
body
for every one bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears, and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit.
Yes. I mean, hey, almost 1,000 out of 20,000. That's not bad. That's 5%.
So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the fuck did we lose this? I could have done a better job with a boomerang and a cricket bat.
Yeah, if I've learned anything from Australia, it's to never fight birds. Usually doesn't end well. Especially the birds that can't fly. Okay, the next one is about kangaroos. Now, I know these things are terrifying. I'm pretty sure they can kick you and break your ribs.
Kangaroos can and will beat you up. That's right, just because it's not venomous doesn't mean it can't knock you on your ass. And Australia's most iconic marsupial can do just that.
Oh! Right in the nuts.
With our biggest species of roo coming in at a ridiculous 2.8 meters in length. And with the iconic hop, they've got a vertical jump of 3 meters.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, honestly, with a stat spread like that, they don't belong in the outback, they belong on a fucking NBA court. As if that wasn't enough, they're also built like tanks, weighing in at a full 90 kilos of roid-raging rabbit muscle. And being able to move way faster than anything that heavy has any right to.
How fast?
Hitting the speedo at a max of 70k an hour. Meaning if you make
Jesus.
a juiced up rat the size of a small car is going to run your ass down and beat the f***ing brakes off you. And I'm not kidding when I say they really will rock your shit, because roos are professional kickboxers, with males routinely fighting MMA to win female attention. When they fight, kangaroos will lean back on their tails as a stabilizer and immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving shit out of one another.
Bro!
And those kicks
He
have
went
enough
through
force
a
to
fence.
crack Bolizer and immediately start scratching and kicking the ever-loving shit out of one another.
Jesus!
And those kicks have enough force to
He definitely lost.
bone. And as if getting drop-kicked by a muscled marsupial wasn't bad enough, they also for some reason have the same bite force as a grizzly bear. Because why not? Now, even with all of this, there are still animals stupid enough to view a roo as lunch. Which brings me to the most terrifying thing
What
that they
hunts
do.
these things?
When threatened, kangaroos will hop into a body of water and wait for whatever is
Why?
chasing them to follow them in. Once the predator enters the water, the kangaroo will wrap its arms around their neck and just straight up drown them. What the man? I share a country with psychopathic tren rats.
Jesus. Honestly, being knocked into the water is probably the best thing that guy could have hoped for, because that kangaroo could jump in after him and just fucking drown him. I mean, these things are literally just like roid heads at the gym, except way worse. Okay, this next one is about a plant.
Plant will put you in the hospital. I'm dying. This is the Gimpy Gimpy plant, a piece of foliage
Doesn't
native to the
look
land down
dangerous.
Under. And surprising no one, not only is the thing venomous, it is in fact the most painful plant on the planet. Because yeah, no, of course, man, even the fucking leaves down here have a problem with me. Growing in the rainforests of northern Queensland, these hell bushes are covered in tiny hairs that upon closer inspection aren't hairs at all and are actually thousands of hypodermic needles waiting to stab you and break off inside your skin if you so much as brush them.
I'm guessing they just stay there?
Inject you with, I am not kidding, neurotoxin and cause absolutely excruciating pain. I mean, like comedic levels of pain. With one person describing it as being covered in hot acid and electrocuted, and another woman saying that it was straight up more painful than childbirth and she'd given birth 4 times. And the fucked up part...
Wait, I mean, doesn't childbirth get easier and less painful with each next child? Logically speaking, that makes sense. The more times you do something, the easier it is. Not to say childbirth isn't painful, because it definitely is. However, there are more painful things. Breaking a bone is just one of the many things that are more painful than labor. So this being more painful than childbirth, it's not really that crazy. There's plenty of things more painful than that.
That is, the neurotoxin isn't even lethal. So this spiteful of a plant
so it doesn't kill
is
you.
Hurting you purely for the love of the game. Mind you, there are reports of people saying getting stung by this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground. This is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for getting stung.
Coyote Peterson actually did this?
By this thing is actually worse than being put in the ground.
Okay, that's...
This is because Groot's little hellspawn cousin here can continue hurting you for literal years after being stung.
So it doesn't get removed?
Thousands of little hypodermic needles are actually made out of silicon, meaning your body can't break them down.
Well,
and
shit.
How thin they are, your skin will usually close up over the top of them, meaning that these neurotoxin-emitting slivers can sit inside your skin for literal years, releasing more neurotoxin any time that they're moved or disturbed. This constant, chronic, agonizing pain is so unbelievably bad that there have even been records of, trying not to get banned here, people alt F4ing existence to make it stop.
I can see that.
This particular incident came from a man who accidentally used one of the plant leaves as toilet paper.
Yeah, completely understandable.
It's much worse.
Understandable. I get it. I get why you would want to end yourself.
In the hospital.
Yeah, no, I don't blame that guy. Next time someone tells you to touch grass, show them this plant. Show them this video. I don't think they'll ever tell you to touch grass ever again. Now this one is a little weird. The title is I was assaulted by a cow. I wonder how that went down.
I have been assaulted by a cow. One of the cows is called Monty, and he's an adolescent, and I made the mistake of turning around for like 5 seconds, and in that 5 seconds, this 500-kilo cow runs up behind me while I'm sorting out his food and tries to f***ing mount me.
What?
He nearly f***ing squished me. If I hadn't been hitting legs, I would have been squashed by a horny f***ing cow. I have been...
I thought when he said assaulted, he meant like being attacked, not that kind of assaulted. Jesus. So there's actually a chance of you getting your ass cheeks clapped by a cow. I mean, it's definitely incredibly low, but it's not zero. Okay, this one is about the kiwi bird. At least that's what I think this thing is.
This bird has to rearrange its organs and skeleton
it's
just
the kiwi.
To lay an egg. This cute little guy is the kiwi bird, a species of ratite native to New Zealand this time, and the absolute
It's not Australia!
For getting cucked by evolution. You see, this walking featherball is actually directly related to the emu, ostrich, and cassowary.
I remember that I watched a Casual Geographic video where I think he mentioned all of this. Or maybe that was something else. I don't know.
Being a member of the same family of flightless birds. However, there is a problem. You see, the rest of the kiwi's bloodline actually looked up a build guide before picking their stat spread, and as such made sure to trade the whole flying thing for something useful. With all of his cousins specking into speed, size, and some kind of offensive capability. So that leaves the question, what did the kiwi pick to make up for not flying?
Nothing?
Absolutely f***ing nothing.
Oh, Actually,
Kiwis are tiny in
Okay.
comparison to their relatives, coming in at only 4 kilos in weight and 50
Oh, that's
centimeters
nothing.
tall. This is because Kiwis evolved largely on an island with no natural predators, so they downsized and traded out the knife feet and bloodlust for just being a little guy with a good attitude, which honestly worked pretty well for them until the British did British things, and now they have to deal with cats and dogs trying to eat them. And considering this build was not designed for PvP, they have been clapped so hard by invasive species that they are now unfortunately an endangered animal.
Oh,
But
I didn't
getting
even know
shafted
that.
by the British is just the beginning of the generational violation of the Kiwi, because these poor feathered fruits can't even reproduce without getting f***ed over. You see, the Kiwi bird's cousins are famous for laying
massive
huge
eggs.
eggs. I'm talking hit your protein macros in one meal-sized eggs. And you would think that is because they...
A single ostrich egg or emu egg would definitely be enough for just a whole meal. Like, that one egg, whole meal right there.
are large. And you would be wrong. Because their vertically challenged cousins have to lay eggs the same size. A Kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size.
Obviously, it's not as big as an emu or ostrich egg, but it's pretty damn close. It's only like a little bit smaller.
Same size. A Kiwi bird lays eggs 20% the size of their body. With the egg being so bloody large, it rearranges their internal organs and stretches their rib cage just to be able to hold the thing. For reference, that is like a human giving birth to a 15-kilo child.
Oh my
That's not a bun in the
God.
oven anymore. That's a whole f***ing bakery. This bird has to rearrange...
Why did evolution not change that? Evolution really just said, nah, this works, we'll keep it. Anyway, on to the next one. This is just I had lunch with a
I
lizard.
ate lunch with a wild lizard. You see, before I made the videos, I worked as a handyman, and one day a client asked me to do some brush cutting because their lawn was, putting it lightly, completely f***ed. So I'm naming a miniaturized version of the Amazon jungle, and I see something that nearly gives me a heart attack. A big lump of scales slithering through the brush.
Oh, he probably
two
thought it was a
steps ahead of
snake.
me. Being Australian, I immediately assumed it was a snake, which is a problem, because the only two snakes in my home state are highly venomous and extremely aggressive. So I immediately
he's in Australia. Like, do you know how little that narrows it down?
stopped what I was doing, backed the f*** up, and got ready to call in the snake catcher to relocate the angry hospital noodle.
Help me.
However, while dialing the number, I noticed something. It was kind of too fat to be a snake, and it hadn't tried to eat me yet. So, being the poster child for why women live longer than men, I waddled back over for a closer look, and I found this little guy.
Yeah, that's a dumb idea.
This is a blue-tongued lizard, and they're actually pretty cool. Native to Australia, these bad boys are basically a tubby skink, but as the name suggests, they have a bright blue neon tongue. Now, I couldn't just leave this distinguished gentleman in harm's way, so I yoinked him and began looking for a place to relocate him away from where I was working. However, during the relocation process, this cute little man proceeded to cuddle up to my shirt and fall asleep, and did not particularly appreciate me trying to move him from his resting place. So, considering it was the middle of the day, I just said, fuck it, called a lunch break, and proceeded to sit in the sun eating a chicken sandwich while Godzilla's little cousin took a nap on my shirt. He sat
That's
with me
adorable.
for my entire 30-minute lunch break without me holding him. However, unfortunately, I was only halfway through my workday, so after I wrapped up lunch, I had to say goodbye. I very delicately removed my new scaled friend from my shirt and released him back into the wild.
Alrighty, big fella. Off you go. Back into the bushes. There you go. See you, friend.
I think this incident legally qualifies me as the first Australian Disney princess. I ate lunch with a wild lizard.
An Australian Disney princess would be the most terrifying thing in existence. If you piss her off, she's gonna call all of the most venomous animals on the planet to come and kill you. That would actually make for a good movie. On to the next one. My spider roommate.
There was a big-ass huntsman that used to live in my house.
Ah,
I'm gonna be
huntsman
honest,
spiders.
dude, I kind of just let him hang
I have a
out.
couple spider roommates.
Is small. I'll tell you that much. There's a huntsman, and they do.
I was quite happy to let him just chill because I never saw a mosquito or a fly in that house.
Same.
So he was paying rent in his own way, you know?
That's fake, obviously, but...
that used to live in my house, and I'm gonna be honest, dude, I kind of just let him hang out.
Oh, or it was already over, okay. Yeah, I have a couple spider roommates. Just 2 days ago, I saw a spider that was about this big. And he had a beetle that was about this big, wrapped in a cocoon. Well, cocoon, in his web. The beetle was at least 5 times larger than him. And he was fat AF. Like that spider's ass? Wow. The whole bakery. So the fact that it somehow managed to get that beetle. Insane. But, yeah, I have no flies in my room. Ever. Never have any flies, mosquitoes, or any other things. Because I have plenty of spiders everywhere. There's a spider web on my monitor right here that connects to the ceiling. You can't see it, obviously, but I can. Plus, whenever I see a spider, I just let it go. And about 2 months ago, I rescued a jumping spider from my shower. I was about to go in, take a shower, like you do, every morning. And I saw a jumping spider, so I gently nudged him onto my hand, and then I released him in my room. And yeah, I saw him the next day, actually, eating something on my window. So yeah, he was paying rent too. Spiders are the best roommates. Okay, on to the next one. This is Australia's most dangerous animal.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana. Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The infamous, terrifying drop bear. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may seem pretty normal at
Never
first,
heard of
closely
it.
resembling the koala bear. And
I was going to say, it looks like a koala.
Design. You see, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and you see the drop...
I mean, this just looks straight up fake. Like, there's no way this is a real animal. That?
Drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees, being basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them. And even if you do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably...
I mean, I'm pretty sure koalas are actually quite dangerous. And you shouldn't really approach them, because I think they do have claws with which they can scratch your face off.
Gonna be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of. Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger. Once firmly attached to your skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws in an attempt to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the end,
I don't know. I feel like I would have heard of an animal like this, especially with how vicious they are. Is this real?
Initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks. So if
I don't believe it. I've never heard of this thing.
I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real.
Yeah.
I made it all up. April Fool's cunt. This animal...
Now it makes sense why I've never heard of them, because they're fake. I feel like if there was an animal like this, which killed humans in this way, there would definitely be plenty of stories online about it. But I've never once heard the name drop bear. Well, since that one was fake, let's go to the next one, which is the most dangerous jellyfish. In Australia, at least.
Jellyfish is basically a time bomb. Introducing Mirakanji, a species of jellyfish native to the northern waters of the land down under, and possibly my least favourite animal in the entire ocean, because it is just a massive, spiteful cunt. Well, massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny. I mean, ridiculously small. Being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head, and basically completely
So they're invisible.
to the naked eye. This is a fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame, they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles and shocking absolutely no one.
Neurotoxin?
Bart.
It is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean.
Of
I'm
course
so
it is.
tired of the stealth poison multi-classes on OCE servers, dude. This shit is broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the barest touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin like a bullet and inject you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail of various neurotoxins. And upon being injected, you will feel absolutely nothing. You'll keep swimming around, splashing about in the water, kissing the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean the kind of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die.
I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die!
That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a condition known as Irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong, there are records of people asking to be, avoiding a ban here, forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server. And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain throughout your entire body. And after making you feel like a failed isekai protagonist, the venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart rate through the roof, which can cause heart attacks, blood clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages. And the fucked up part is, it doesn't have an anti-venom. This
so you're just dead.
You, waits 30 minutes, sends you a private DM telling you it got your ass, and there is not a fucking thing you can do about it. Toxic little shit. This jellyfish...
So how many people die from this every year? I mean, I've had, like, feelings of dread before because of extreme anxiety, but never, well, okay, maybe not never, but I never got to the point where I actually wanted to, you know, be disconnected from the server. But there were many times where I did think I was about to die, but that was just from fucking anxiety. I'm good now. It doesn't happen anymore because I'm on medication for anxiety. But yeah, I can only imagine how much worse the dread is from this thing. I can only imagine. And I don't want to know. Okay, next up, it's a pigeon that saved the whole army battalion, apparently.
Saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing our protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was, kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France, with 500 US soldiers stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery.
Amazing.
Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained, Jeremy. Desperate and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Jeremy, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear, some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Jeremy's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs. And this Giga Chad of an animal tanked it.
No!
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Jeremy made it the whole way back to base,
40 kilometers.
delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today. There he is. Absolute f***ing legend.
Yeah, what a giga Chad.
This pigeon saved...
Jesus. That pigeon is a legend. Okay, next one is about scientists apparently reversing extinction. Kinda.
This just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda. You see, a bioengineering
the
company
direwolf?
called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic
I think this
Park
is about the
film has told
direwolf.
us is a bad idea. Bringing back extinct species. And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can describe them to you is, basically a wolf on steroids. Yeah, buddy! These things were bigger, faster, and stronger, estimated to have the highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
I mean, they're definitely
These
not
two
going to be
little
the
guys are now
same.
6 months old and have been living on a private plot of land with 24/7 veterinary care. However, they've only just been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines.
Finish the
Showing
damn
that
books!
That man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last book. There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit
that
of
much
them
is
being
obvious.
extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5% of its genetic code with the dire wolf. So, using CRISPR gene editing, they basically toss the grey wolf back into the spore creator, then using the code found
Adjusted
in
some
dire wolf
things.
fossils as a build guide, juiced the out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a dire wolf short of time travel. Which is cool as
Yeah?
I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that lab and we are all playing Resident Evil.
I knew he would put this in. Well, let's see. How old is this short? April 11th, 2025. Well, it's only been a year. 4 more years to go. I mean, really, the thing that's gonna take humanity out, if anything, it's probably gonna be some sort of mosquito that gets genetically modified and used as a bioweapon. Or any other insect that can fly and quickly spread everywhere. But that's really cool. The fact that we can kind of bring back extinct species is really just... it's awesome. Literally Jurassic Park, but not quite. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the same company that's trying to bring back the woolly mammoth. Yep, I just checked on Google, it's the same one. Yeah, so the people who did this are also trying to bring back the woolly mammoth by editing, I think, the genes of some sort of Asian elephant. Because really, an elephant and a mammoth, pretty much the same thing. Obviously, not really, but still, they're very close. So we might see woolly mammoths as well. Literally Ice Age. Okay, on to the next one. And now this is a story that's very familiar to me. It's called This Bear Was an Actual Soldier. So I already know exactly what this is about. It's about Wojtek.
Bear was actually a soldier.
Yes, he
But
was.
how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were
I'm
passing
Polish,
through the
that's why I
mountains
know
of Iran
about this.
on their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said,
Damn good deal.
and in the most worthwhile trade deal in history, parted ways with their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon. adopting him into their ranks and naming him
Wojtek.
And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
Maggots!
As a baby, they would feed him condensed milk out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit, honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Wojtek how to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to wave, salute, and even march. While not undergoing rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you?
A lot.
On top of double rations, they would also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes.
Cigarettes,
They
yes.
let the bear have smoko.
Probably not the healthiest
Army
thing,
High
but
Command heard about this
cares?
and were having absolutely none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which
Well,
meant
fuck 'em.
Wojtek had to go. Or did he?
He was a
because
soldier.
the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing
Starship Troopers. Yeah, he
Wojtek
had a
was
rank.
given a serial number and granted the rank of private. So when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek." And Wojtek took his new role very seriously.
I'm pretty sure he
as
carried
during the Battle
artillery
of
shells.
Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat. They had a fucking resupply bear. For his bravery, he was promoted to the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell. This absolute unit
Wojtek is a
smoked,
legend.
drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis. Based.
He's Polish,
This
of course
bear
he's
was
based.
actually-
I fucking love Wojtek. He's a legend. Anyway, on to the last video for today, because I've been recording for an hour now, and I think that's going to be enough. This one's about crocodiles.
Crocodiles are just dinosaurs that forgot to
They
go
are.
extinct. I am
They really
dead
are.
serious, and I cannot think of a croc species to better make my point than the saltwater crocodile, a species native to the land down under, and shocking absolutely no one, yes, it can and will eat you. You see, keeping on theme with the whole forgetting to go extinct thing, the Salties stat spread just feels like something that should have been patched out with the rest of Jurassic Park, starting with their ridiculous size.
Yeah, they are
You
massive.
see, salties are the largest reptile on the planet, coming in at a total of 6 meters long,
Jesus.
with a maximum weight of 1,100 kilos, which makes this murder lizard genuinely longer than my f***ing car. And the f***ed up part is that despite being longer than my ute, they are for some reason absolute masters of stealth. You see, crocs
I'm pretty
are
sure they also
ambush
don't
predators,
stop
which
growing.
is a scientific way of saying they are dirty f***ing campers. You see, they've got 2 raised eyes that sit on the top of their heads, which means they can submerge their Ford Falcon-sized frame basically entirely under the water without sacrificing the ability to spot whatever they are looking to turn into a Happy Meal. And from your perspective as the Happy Meal, they are really difficult to see, which makes it very easy to walk just a little too close and
die.
Yeah, get bitten in half by that hydraulic press they call a mouth.
That's what I love. Nestle
And just in half.
That's right,
Yeah.
just like
God.
any good camper, these scaly assholes are packing a one-shot in the form of one of the highest bite forces of any animal on the f***ing planet, having been recorded at putting out a maximum of 3,700 psi of force through their jaws. To put that into context, your skull will crack at 1,100 psi, so a croc would pop your head like a
Very
watermelon.
easily.
And if you don't immediately get folded by the first bite, those jaws will latch onto you as the croc
And spin.
begins a death roll, spinning its ton of body weight like a washing machine until whatever part of you it has
The infamous
decided to
death
eat
roll.
snaps off and is added to its protein goals. But the best thing about the crocodile is their build is so f***ing good. They have genuinely been around with very little evolutionary change for 65 million years.
Why change
Which means
perfection?
I grew up watching Steve Irwin wrestle dinosaurs for fun. Rest in peace, you absolute f***ing legend.
R.I.P. to the GOAT, Steve Irwin. Jesus Christ. I think that's the first time I've ever used the word GOAT seriously. God. My brain is rotten. Okay, so I just looked up some stuff online, and yeah. Crocodiles rarely die of old age. Pretty much never. Because of how they age, I'm not going to explain it. You can look it up online if you want. But apparently in the wild, they can live 70 to 100 years. And in captivity, they can surpass 100. Cassius, an 18-foot saltwater crocodile living in captivity in Australia, is estimated to be over 120 years old. What the hell? According to Google, the most common killer is actually starvation. Because obviously, the bigger they get, the more they grow, the more food they need to consume. And if you get too big, there's not going to be enough food to go around, and you're going to starve to death. So apparently that's the most common old age killer for crocodiles. Just starvation, because there's not enough food. They are so damn good, the only reason they die is because they cannot find enough food to hunt once they grow too big. Insane. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. I'm definitely going to watch more of Parz. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in the next video.